So now, one of the things that I want to tell you is that it turns out after a quite a thorough comparison that decision tree turns out to be one of the best models. So there are some reasons. One of the reason is decision tree itself can bring a lot of variety, and second is decision tree is very good in case of noisy data, in case of missing data, and it has ability to handle both numerical as well as categorical data. So because of this, decision tree is used as one of the best models. Okay, so you have understood that ensemble is basically a collection of models. Okay, now we are thinking of that. Okay, we have looked at KNN and logistic regression and SVM. Now we are saying that actually it turns out that decision tree is a very good model to be used in an ensemble setting. Okay, so like that there are certain kind of actors who never act in an ensemble cast, and there are some type of actors who actually performs better in an ensemble cast than their solo performance. So the idea is something like that. So it is a very simple scenario that we have over here, that you have a potential, you have a movie, and you want to predict that whether that movie is going to be a mainstream hit, critics choice, or box office bust. So why we are saying potential movie? Because it has not released that yet. Okay, and of course this is a 3-class classification problem, and you have also find out that there seems to be a relationship between the film's proposed shooting budget, the number of A-list celebrities lined up for starring roles, and the categories of success. So these, you can think that these are the criteria which decide that whether the film will be a mainstream hit, a critic's choice, or a box office bust. So here you have we have drawn it over this decision space. Okay, so you have the estimated budget drawn in the x-axis, and you have the A-list celebrities drawn on the y-axis. Okay, and they have been appropriately marked by the legends. Okay, so this green square represents critical success, this blue one represents mainstream hit, these red circles are box office bust. Okay, now what you want to do, you have understood that in machine learning we want to find out the decision boundary. So let's see how this decision tree works. So decision tree actually works by splitting the decision space. Okay, and what is the objective of the decision space? The objective of the decision space is that the regions that are created because of this decision boundary should be as homogeneous as possible. So here we have made a split. Okay, and you see that this region has now become quite homogeneous. Okay, however, this region is not still very homogeneous. Okay, so what you will do, you will understand, no, I need to do more splits. So one of you were asking that what were the splits, or what were the multi-way split. So here we are discussing that why we split, or what is the philosophy of splitting. The philosophy of splitting is gradually going towards more decision regions, or more homogeneous decision regions. So I will apply another split, and always remember that the splits that decision tree applies are always parallel to the axis. So this is one of the characteristic of the decision tree. Okay, so this decision tree can be represented by a diagram or a tree-like structure like this. And if you have some exposure to computer science, then you know that computer scientists have this crazy tendency of drawing the trees upward down. So these are called as root, and these are called as leaf. So these are actually inverted trees. So if you have used the binary tree, that data structure, or you have even seen decision tree, so this is one peculiarity you have to live with. Okay, so now if you follow this one, so we have started with 10 movies of each category: 10 critical success, 10 mainstream hit, 10 box office bust. So after that, there is a decision mode. You check that whether the number of celebrities are low or high. So you say, okay, number of celebrities are low. And what is happening? So this region is becoming quite more with box office bust. So 10 out of 12 are actually box office bust. Okay, but what about this region? This region is not so homogeneous. Still, 50% is critical success, 50% is mainstream. So I need to further apply some criteria. So which I have applied over here, which is budget, and I see whether it is low or high. Okay, and if the budget is high, I see that critical success is 1/10 and mainstream is 9/10. So I say it is mainstream bust, and here I say it is critical success. You may be little skeptical that okay, why still there is critical success and mainstream hit. Here also there is critical success. Why we are saying this to be box office bust and mainstream hit respectively? The reason for the same is, as I said, we don't want to overfit our model. So there will be some kind of errors which are kind of irregular. So even if there are high number of celebrities and the budget is high, there can be one movie which is not a mainstream hit and a critical success. But for that, changing your rule will be a harakiri. You would not like to do that. Okay. And how this decision tree is now used in a decision making. So if you have a new movie, okay, which may be having a low budget, okay, and low budget and or maybe low number of celebrities and low budget, then what you will do? You will follow this decision tree path. You will come to the numbers of celebrities, you will say it is low, and you will say that, oh, this is going to be a box office bust. You even do not need to care what was the budget. Okay. So there are some terminologies about decision tree. So these are called as splitting attribute, right? Number of celebrities is a splitting attribute. Here budget is a splitting attribute. Okay. And this is a root node. And only this one is an internal node. Okay. All these three are actually terminal nodes. So if you reach a terminal node, you reach a decision that which class it belongs to. Okay. And why decision trees are used so much is because, first of all, it is intuitive. You can understand very well, and decisions are easy to interpret. So such models are often called as white box models. This neural network and support vector machine of models are actually called as black box model because the decision making is not so much interpretable. Now, one question that comes to your mind or should come to your mind is that which attribute I will start with. You may challenge me that why you started with number of celebrities and not the amount of budget. How do I decide that? Is it arbitrary? No, nothing is arbitrary over here. So basically, what is the general intuition? Please understand that. What is the general intuition? The general intuition is that I will pick up an attribute which will give me more homogeneous areas. I will pick up an attribute which will give me more homogeneous decision regions. How do we measure homogeneous region? So here we use a measure called as entropy, which was not invented for this. You must be knowing that this is from Shannon's information theory, okay, one of the landmark papers, which is a measure of uncertainty basically. But this I can use for our purpose. So if the region are more homogeneous, then my decision making is certain or uncertain. So if it is more homogeneous, then my decision making is more certain, right? So I need a measure, or entropy gives me a formal value, a numerical value of this uncertainty. Okay, and which is like this. Okay, so probability of, so if a variable takes different values, so in this case x can be taken as the decision regions. Okay, so x can be taken as the decision regions, and in this, let's say I am trying to find out in this decision region, and in this decision region, if this particular model predicts both class 1 and class 2, so this this I'm going to calculate, or this summation is actually going to have two terms, one for class 1, another for class 2. Okay, if I have three classes, I will have three terms, class 1, class 2, and class 3. Okay, so let me calculate and think in terms of tossing of a coin. Okay, so tossing of a coin probably is so how tossing of coin is tossing of coin is relevant over here. So if you have a region, where the two classes are equally probable, so you have 10 observations coming from C1, okay, 10 observations coming from C2. So then if you have to, that this new observation falls in this region, so if you want to predict, it is as good as a random guess, or random guess is symbolized by a tossing of a coin, right? So that's why we are taking this tossing of a coin and trying to find the entropy associated with tossing of a coin. So I'm going to take different scenarios of probability of head and tail. So generally, if it is a fair coin, the probability of head and tail is going to be equal. And if it is like the famous coin of the movie Sholay, then probability of head is 1 and probability of tail is 0. I am going to use this formula and try to find out what entropy is telling about this. Okay, so these are the probabilities. I have found the log probabilities because this is here I need to calculate the log, and then I calculate the corresponding entropies. Okay, so I multiply this and I calculate. I take the sum. Okay, and here I have so there is a minus sign here. So the ultimate sum is a positive. So what do you see over here? Where the entropy value is highest? The entropy value is highest when it is a fair coin, because that is the case when it is most uncertain. And where it is 0, when I am completely certain. So this idea is very nicely used in case of decision trees. Okay. So here we have just taken different values of probability and plotted it. Okay, just to whatever we discussed, just to see it graphically, that as my certainty increases, entropy goes down. So that how that is related again to the decision tree. As my regions becomes more and more homogeneous, the entropy should go down. Now, how do I use this intuition? So please remember why we started this discussion. We started this discussion to identify that which attribute I will pick up for actually splitting this. Okay, or for actually selecting the best attribute. Okay, all right. So here what we do is we actually want to find out the entropy of the root node. Okay, and then if I split it by an attribute, what is the entropy? So there should be a reduction in entropy, because in root node there will be uncertainty, and as we have split it further, there will be a reduction, right? So that's the general intuition. Okay, and here what we have seen is two alternative scenarios. Okay, so let's say if you split by attribute A, this is how it will become. So here you'll see two numbers. So it's the binary classification problem where you have two classes, C1 and C2, and the left node in this case you have got 30 and 10. The right node you have got 10 and 30. And if you split by attribute B, then it is 20, 40, and 20, 0. Okay. So now you want to apply this notion of entropy and information gain and see which attribute is better. Is it A or it is B? So this is called as information gain. Okay. So I probably missed mentioning the formal name. So this is called as information gain. So typically what you will do is, in a decision tree algorithm, you will find out that which attribute has highest information gain, and by that you will perform the split. So here, let's say you have only 2 attributes, and we do the calculation. So first calculation we do for the first calculation we do for state A, and then we do the calculation of state B. How do we do the calculation of state B? So we find entropy here, we find entropy here, and then we find the weighted average entropy of this. Okay, so weighted average, in this case both the nodes has 40-40, but here the entropy of this node will get a more weight because there are 60 nodes here. Okay, so if I do a calculation, okay, I don't know what was your intuition, but when I looked at it, I was very happy with this split because it became a very homogeneous split over here. Okay, and it turned out that if we apply this information gain calculation, the entropy here, the entropy of this node is 0.811 and entropy of this node is 0.686. Okay, and what is the entropy of the root node? The entropy of the root node is 1, which we calculated in case of the fair coin, because there are 2 classes and they are equally probable. That's so the entropy is going to be same. Okay, and this way I can decide that this A is a better split choice. Okay, so is there a question? Okay, no. All right, so let me proceed further. Check the chat also. Okay, could you explain what is homogeneous? I hope, Pooja, you are still in the call. Okay. All right. So homogeneous means that you have similar type of objects. Okay. So if you have a mixture where there are 10 green balls and 3 red balls, then if you have a mixture where there are 5 green balls and 5 red balls, you will say the first one is more homogeneous. Okay, I hope it clarifies your doubt.